Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus are not a radical departure from their predecessors, but they have a ton of improvements on the inside. Are these now the best Android phones on the market? Samsung has built on the near-perfect design of the S8 with the S9 Plus and the S9 because now the bezels are even narrower on both the 6.2-inch Plus and the 5.8-inch S9. And what we like about this is now you're getting a big screen and something that's a little bit more compact. Around back, there's a slightly bigger change in the sense that now you have the fingerprint sensor that's located underneath the camera as opposed to being to the right, so there's less of a risk that you're going to smudge things up. The only thing we don't like about the design is that the Bixby button is located right underneath the volume controls, so there's more of a risk that you're going to activate Samsung's Assistant when you just want it to shut up. By far, our favorite feature of the S9 and the S9 Plus is the all-new camera because it lets in up to 28% more light than before, and you're going to see the results in shots like this. So our friends right here, without a flash, punchy colors even with a little bit of light, really great detail, and even when you're in a completely dark bar, you can make out the bartender in the back. The coolest camera feature is definitely Super Slowmo, and it slows things down to 960 frames per second, and you're still getting HD resolution, and it makes everyday activities absolutely dramatic. The camera is even smart enough to know when action is entering the frame, and it kicks in. Augmented reality is a big area of focus for Samsung with the S9 and the S9 Plus, but that focus is a little bit fuzzy because the execution is not where it needs to be. A good example of that is AR Emoji. It's not as accurate as the true depth sensor on the iPhone X. The animation is a little bit uneven, and it doesn't really map your facial expressions the way it should. But I like the idea that you can share some of your gifts out to your friends via the keyboard through a lot of different apps. More practical features of AR include the ability to translate signs or see how many calories are in that snack you're about to eat. When it comes to performance, the Galaxy S9 is an absolute beast, and that's because there's a Snapdragon 845 processor on the inside, and the S9 Plus is even faster because it has 6 gigs of RAM. On our performance test, we saw really good results, especially compared to the last generation, but the iPhone X is still ahead when it comes to doing things like video editing. But to be sure, you're definitely not going to see lag when you're doing things like playing games or streaming videos. If you're wondering how long your fun is going to last, you'll be pleased to know that the S9 Plus lasted close to 11 hours on our web surfing battery test. That's a little bit better than the iPhone X, but behind the Pixel 2 XL. There's a lot to like about both the S9 Plus and the S9. You're getting brighter displays, stereo speakers, and faster performance. We especially like the low-light camera and the Super Slowmo video. The AR stuff definitely needs more time in the oven, but overall, both of these are top-notch Android phones and give you a lot for your money. Make sure you go to tomsguide.com to see our full review of both phones. This is Mark Spoonhour.